Hello, YouTube. Well, you fellow YouTube silver investors, precious metal investors. Today's May the June 2nd, 2013, and I want to make a couple points here. A lot of people have been asking me of is how do you get into silver investing, specifically non-numismatic coins or collector coins, but primarily mainly for the silver and the gold. And one of the things that usually when you go to a coin dealer is that they'll try to sell you some of the more expensive rare coins because they can make more money off of it. That's just fact of life. But if you want to really invest in the metal specifically, you really want to look for low premiums. And unfortunately, right now for the American Silver Eagles, which is the most popular type of bullion coin, the premiums are ridiculous. So until the premiums come down a little bit, I don't recommend buying them just because it's going to take you a little while to actually pay break even. The second thing is they charge sales tax in most states, and unfortunately the sales tax also eats up away a lot of the profit. So what you really want to do is avoid the sales tax. You also want to avoid the premiums that most of the dealers have. And unfortunately, I'll tell you off the bat right now, most coin dealers, for some reason or another, and I don't know why, usually are not customer service friendly, and I think it's just because there's so few dealers out there that sell this type of stuff that they don't really want to sell you, and if they do sell you, it's just like take it or leave it kind of attitude. So anyway, American Silver Eagles right now, I probably wouldn't buy them. It's just 20% over premium. It's just way too much for it. The other one is Canadian Silver Maples, which I find to be kind of interesting case because most people buy the Canadian Maples. And they don't really want them, but although technically they're a little bit more pure in silver, they have a little more higher silver content. Not a lot, but it's enough. And they're still just as good as the American Silver Eagles. So on the government minted coins, I would go for those. I would stay away from the Libertads just because they don't have any face value. It's just almost the same as paying for the generic silver rounds. You still get the peace of mind that it's a government issued coin. And then a lot of the Australian coins, especially like the Kookaburra ones and the some of the other of the Lunar series, are usually way overpriced, and they're actually marked up quite a bit. And then the Australian coins, for the most part, I find that they usually have a good markup, just in general. I mean, that's just my belief. So anyway, so that brings us back to the silver rounds issue. So should you buy silver rounds, or should you buy American Gold Eagle, or should you buy Silver Maple Leafs? I personally believe that the silver rounds are usually the best way to go. Now, when you sell them to a dealer, specifically, they're usually going to offer you at spot, or maybe just about a buck under spot. I asked a local dealer, and they told me that they were going to pay me at spot, but usually they don't really have to take your silver, so in fact, you're at the mercy of whether they want it or not. Now, the American Eagles are selling at $2 over premium, but like I said, they sell it over $5 over spot. So they make a good amount in between the spreads there. The Maples are a little better. They're somewhere in between the rounds and the American Silver Eagles, but you're not really saving much by going on the rounds at this point in time. Now, maybe it can change later on, but in terms of the premiums, because everything has gone up so much, you are paying for the silver content in both the rounds and also for the government issue coins. So you're really only saving about 8%. Now, if you're looking at large sums of money, we're looking at about in excess of $10,000, and obviously it's a good amount of money that you should be switching over to the rounds. But if you're looking at a small volume, you're really not going to save much. It's going to be about a buck or two per coin. Anyway, so that's my general idea. It depends on your bankroll, and also depends on whether you plan on want to liquidate this in the near future, or how long you want to hold it onto it and whatnot. Alright, so that's that part. So the second part is looking at online dealers. My experience has been, and I'm still working on it off them right now. We got a couple of dealers, specifically Provident Metals, which seems to have the lowest price, but I want to see how they do first. And the other one is Gainesville Coins, which seems to be based in Florida. Both of them actually don't charge sales tax. So if you're shipping out from either of those two states, you don't pay sales tax, which is a very, very great thing. Legislation right now is being considered on eliminating sales tax, not limiting, but implementing sales tax for all online purchases. So maybe in the future, that's not going to happen anymore. But either way, that's a 10% savings that you're probably going to get by buying the online stores, which I rather do than going out to the local dealer, because those people are just horrendous in my opinion. Okay, so the next part that some people are asking me is, why hold gold and silver? And usually I like gold personally, but because I've been priced out of that range. Gold is really one of those things where I wished that I had purchased back in 2000 when it was at $200 an ounce. And honestly, in all honesty, I mean, gold has had a great history and a great bull run, and I feel that right now we just can't afford it. Even if I wanted to, it's just out of my price range. I'm not going to throw in $1,400 for a coin, in the hopes that's going to go to 2,800 and hopefully find a seller then. So anyway, so in terms of that respect, gold is probably the best way if you have a lot of money. But silver, is equally as good. Problem with silver right now is because it is an industrial metal, it's being perceived as a commodity. So it's getting a lot more volatility in the short term, and it is dropping a lot faster than gold. So silver is kind of like one of those in-between metals, I like to say. It's a precious metal, but at the same time it's being used as an industrial in the industry. So it kind of trades like copper, but it's being treated like gold in some cases. So anyway, I'm going to try and see if I can pick up some more here. So picked up a couple more silver at 22. The next stop is going to be at 20, and then we're going to hit floor about 18. If it breaks 18, you should back up the truck on this. Basically, what happens is at 18, we go pre-cost mining levels. So in other words, over-cost mining levels. So in other words, if it goes under 18, you're looking at silver being sold at a loss for many of these miners, and you're going to see supply really taper off, and you're not going to see much silver supply in the next couple of years. Even right now, I mean, the supplies are pretty low as it is. So we're looking at about 18 for the miners to at least break even after marketing, after fuel cost, after everything. If we go down under 18 and we're looking at around 12, $9, then you should really back up the truck, because silver at that point is going to skyrocket. Anyway, so we're seeing a lot of buyers here. I'm not the only one doing this. So unfortunately, we got a lot of people that have already woken up to this idea, and they're really bidding up the prices as we go. So we'll see how far this price drop goes, and we'll see how low the premiums can drop. But man, I just hope that people don't really rush into it and don't really drive things up, because otherwise it's going to get too competitive to get some good pricing. So anyway, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's just an experiment. If the silver thing doesn't work out, and if it goes back to a 20-year bear market, then so be it. At the very minimum, tried it out, see how it worked. But you know what? If we get another situation where it runs back up, then we're going to be good. All right, YouTube. Well, that's it. I didn't want to make these too long, but hopefully there was some sort of information. If you like my video, please go ahead and comment on it at the bottom. Press the like button. Spread the word. And like I said, I mean, I'm just here trying it out myself. I'm fairly new at this, but I'm so stupid at missing out the bull run from 2000, 2001 to 2011. But you know what? It's there, and so let's try it out and see if we can capture at least a second half run and see how much we can get from there. But all right then, so see you later. Comment again, subscribe. There's a link at the bottom. Just go ahead and press like. I would really appreciate it. Just press comments. Let's create a forum, and peace out. This is LeonLemming.com.